Welcome to Screen Learning. So, a story just came out today, really, that Illinois parents are giving up custody of their children to coworkers, other family members, and just anyone else in general, so that children who wouldn't be able to take advantage of different grants and scholarships, such as the Pell Grant, are able to take advantage of those grants and scholarships. Kind of like Lori Loughlin and Massimo G. Anuli. I probably butchered that name, but just like kind of like what they did with giving money to help their kids be able to get accepted into well-to-do colleges. So the reason why we are all hypocritical in pointing the finger at these Illinois parents or pointing the finger at Lori Loughlin and her husband is because, well, not necessarily all of us, but a lot of us, I'm going to say a large part of the majority, have taken advantage of the system, the education system, in order to give ourselves or our children an advantage. Let me explain. So, first with the story, dozens of wealthy families in Illinois have reportedly been using a controversial tactic to help their children pay for college. They give up legal guardianship so the teenagers can claim dramatically lower incomes and earn need-based financial aid. And so the way this story reads is as if their parents are emancipating their kids or their children, but they're not emancipating them. They're just giving them to other individuals, including family members, co-workers, people who make less money than they do. And the payoff for the people who are receiving the guardianship is probably a nice fat check. And the reason why wealthy people would do this instead of just paying for college is because, well, that's pretty much how the rich and wealthy roll. They take advantage of systems that are in place, and they use the rules or the confinements of the rules to get an advantage. And in this situation, it's having their children take advantage of financial aid that wouldn't be allowed for them to use because of how much money they make as far as assets and income in general. So when the transfers are complete, students are then able to declare themselves financially independent on college applications. And they're not necessarily financially independent. It's more of the student will take on a summer job, and they'll be able to declare income from the summer job as their income, in addition to the family members that now are their guardians. So on paper, they'll look like they're poor, when in actuality they come from wealth and riches. I know lots of people who, growing up, they lived in one neighborhood and they wanted their children to go to a better school. So what they did was they used the zip code or they would use the address of a relative or a friend so that their child or children could go to a better school. And a lot of people do this all across America. They find out different ways on how they can circumvent the system, and they give their children an advantage. And I'm all for giving people an advantage. Now, there's critics that say that the children of these wealthy families would not have been able to receive the Pell Grant, and that money could be used for other individuals who were needing of the assistance. So the thing about grants, especially federal grants, there's pretty much enough money for everybody. If you meet the threshold, you get the assistance. And then as far as the scholarships, the rich family or the kids that come from wealth, they were able to take advantage of a lot of scholarships. There's state scholarships for needy families or for needy students. They probably got those scholarships from other people who could have deserved it. So that's frowned upon. But show me someone who hasn't taken advantage of the education system, and they'll be the first one to throw a stone. The education system, it's full of rules rules and regulations that when you learn how things work, you can make it work to your advantage. And that's pretty much, what it's about, is making something work to your advantage, even through manipulation. Is it wrong? It's unethical, but just like what the article is saying, the practice is legal. It's a legal practice. And the reason the practice is legal is because there are families who are not wealthy who do this so they can get their children into better school. This kind of circles back to Lori Loughlin and her husband, taking advantage of a system that a lot of people have taken advantage of, and they were just the ones to get caught. Now, again, I'm not, trying to justify or condone taking advantage of systems, especially from wealthy individuals. It's just that we should all figure out how things work and make it work to our advantage so we can get a leg up over others, because life is a competition. Our society is based off the survival of the fittest. No one parades or rewards loss, and it's unfortunate. I got it. We could say, well, we could strive to do better. We could strive to preach better. We can do that. But while striving to preach and do better, you still can be losing out on opportunities, and years from now you're like, well, I'm just going to walk away and just kind of move on from it. And the people who had the best idea that pretty much seized the day, they are the ones who take advantage of the opportunity. And so there's other different types of situations where individuals have circumvented the system. Again, we should all take advantage of the rules and regulations that are out there, especially if we can not necessarily scam, but manipulate the odds in our favor. And that this kind of is a segue into talking about individuals who, quote unquote, don't pay taxes. It's not that they don't pay taxes. They just take advantage of the system to get out of taking taxes, and they get a lot of tax credits and a lot of tax breaks. Be on a high horse, deny yourself the ability to take advantage of a lot of strategies and systems. It's not in your best interest, and it's better for you to do what's in the best interest for yourself and your family, as opposed to sitting on your hands and missing out on opportunities and good things. I'm pretty sure that this tactic is used all over the United States. People are smart, but a lot of times people who do smart things through word of mouth, they tell their friends and family and neighbors and coworkers, and word gets around. And this is how this stuff ends up becoming a big thing, and makes a Yahoo news story on the internet. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumbs up the video, share to your social media. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you are already subscribed or you are returning as a viewer, welcome back. Hopefully you got something out of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.